The American dream to me, I feel like it's being able to have a lot of opportunities and at your fingertips and being able to achieve whatever you dream.
I guess just truly working for what you believe in, and just like using all the resources around you and just things like that.
I think the American dream is such a broad thing to say, but it means that if you work hard enough, you can achieve anything.
Believing in yourself and really working towards your goal, whatever you think that is, like your dreams, and achieving it.
What the American dream means to me is something that you set your mind to, like a goal or an aspiration, and fulfilling it.
3, 2, 1.
You are listening to Latino Living,
Is it recording right?
a podcast about the life of Latinos in Natchez, Louisiana. Este podcast es parte de HSJA and NSU. During each episode, we will share with you una historia about Hispanic living in this corner of Louisiana.
I am Alison Flores, your editor.
I am Isabel Juarez, your assistant producer.
I am Naydu Daza, your host.
I'm Portillo, your producer.
And this is Latino Living,
Un podcast para todos.
Hola a todos, welcome back to Latino Living with a new episode. Today's episode is going to be American Dream. For our American Dream episode, we decided to bring two guests. The first one is going to be Frankie Zoller from Chicago, Illinois. He's a friend of this program, and we decided to invite him since he is just getting out of the army and he has some knowledge about this topic.
And the second student is Kimberly Saucedo, a student at the University of Louisiana at Lafayette, who's going to tell us a little bit about her experience in the American Dream as a person that grew up in Louisiana her whole life. So to explore this topic a little more in depth, we really need to know what the American Dream is. So Naydu, tell us a little bit about what the American Dream is.
Well, Leah, I cannot give you an answer of what the American Dream is, but what I could do is present you with the answer of our guests. So right now, I want to hear what Frankie has to say about what is the American Dream.
Everyone has this concept from around like the 80s of nuclear family. So it's just husband, wife, 2 kids, and a dog, and a white picket fence around your house, property, and that's kind of what the American Dream was before.
So Leah, when we were talking to Frankie about, how the military and how the U.S. help Americans achieve this American Dream, we could also see that we can get a different perception throughout the different cultures. So what do you think about that? Can you tell us, Leah?
Okay, so I feel like the American Dream through different cultures is totally up to the different backgrounds and the different sort of like upbringings that we all had. So whether you're Hispanic, whether you're American, whether you're from literally China or anywhere in the world, our perception of the American Dream is sort of like this ideal of being able to pursue the things that we want to pursue and achieving the goals that we want to achieve.
But do we think the American Dream is equal to everybody? Do we have equal opportunities for every single culture and every single person?
No, I don't feel that it's equal. I feel that that's something that we're like pushing towards every day, and it's like getting better. But no, it's definitely not equal. Some people have to work harder than others. Like I know me personally, I have to do so much more work to get to that dream than other people, and it's just how it is. So, but it's changing. It's getting better.
I believe that some people don't get treated equally even though they are in America, and so once people start to get treated equally in America, that's when I believe that it becomes equal.
I wouldn't say equal because there's some people with different backgrounds that have to jump through a lot more loopholes, but I do think that it is achievable for everybody.
I think that the American Dream can be achieved, but I don't think everyone does start out equal.
So yes, I do think it's possible, but your expectancy to actually achieve that of something super crazy is, you have to be reasonable. So not everyone's going to make it, not everyone's going to be a millionaire. you have to set dreams and aspirations of what you can achieve that's good for your life and sustainability for you and your family, and not only for just your immediate family. Have a job set up so your extended family also can be set up and be like a mentor towards them. Yeah.
So now we could hear what people have to say about the equal opportunities with the American dream. But when was the first time we really started listening and hearing about the American dream? Leah, do you remember the first time you heard about the American dream in your life?
So I kind of heard it whenever I was already over here, like when I started going to school in, like, I think it was high school. We were reading a poem about it by an immigrant author, and he was talking about his experience of the American dream and like this illusion, this sort of like ideals that we have, that how we hold ourselves up to this ideal, and how sometimes it could be like kind of sad or depressing whenever we don't achieve those ideals. So that's like sort of like where I started learning and delving into more of what the American dream is and what it means to different people in different cultures.
Well, my first time hearing about the American dream it's kind of like, it's not like I remember the exact same day, but I can remember people talking about it when they were saying, you know this person that he lives around the corner, well, they went to the US and now they've been here for 5 years or 2 years and they have a job, and I saw what they post on Facebook. So that's kind of what I heard of the American dream the first time. Just people saying how successful someone can become coming into America. But here's the background story that I have also been thinking about these past few years, ever since I got here. Whether people believe that someone else achieved the American dream or not, you don't know if that person believes that they have achieved the American dream, because every single person can deal with different circumstances throughout the way that can help them either achieve it or feel that they're closer to achieve it. So I think saying that someone have already achieved the American dream may be something not up to you, to somebody else, but how the person feels with themselves. But the point is that whenever I first hear about it, it's all towards immigration, when people immigrate to the United States. That's the point of view I got from the American dream the first time I heard of it.
Yeah, and to just kind of like go off of that, is that the American dream really has rooted in this idea of immigration for nowadays, and like we live within these ideals of the American dream. So Kimberly, she was born here, but her parents immigrated and they came over here, and so she lives with this idea of uplifting the American dream, because if she doesn't uplift the American dream, all the sacrifices that the parents did for her, she has to sort of like, she just made it all go to waste if she doesn't uphold all of the expectations as a child of an immigrant. And so she can tell us a little bit more about what that feels like and how she has seen her own American dream been pursued, or as she is going into her life at ULL.
I think the American dream is what you strive for your life. I mean, everyone tries to, work, struggle now, and be happy later and relax later, but everyone's dream is interpreted differently. Whether it be maybe just you by yourself and traveling the world, or maybe you do have a family and you want to live in a house, or maybe you're just like sticking with work and focusing on school. Everyone's dream is different, but we all have the same end goal of being happy and being proud of what we've done to get to where we can go.
So Leah, I think it must be really, really hard growing up somewhere that doesn't support Hispanics and the community in general. When you are Hispanic and, believe it or not, you always want to find people that have kind of the same cultural background as you. So I think that must be a really difficult time, like to live with. So I kind of want to hear what our guest thinks about this.
I do see with the surplus of immigrants coming in, even when I go back to my hometown, there's way more Hispanics than when I left. Like, it is insane. And of course, there is some backlash with that, to go back, political things about taking jobs and whatnot. But I think it will be negative before it becomes a positive. So people are going to hate on it. They're going to say what they want to say to these people and, complain, especially face to face. Like my father at work, people tell him stuff all the time because he's the superior, he's their boss. But the white man's like, no, that's not right. That's not how it's supposed to be. And my dad, I feel like he's a good representation because he takes the hate. He's like, okay, you can just tell me what you want, I'm still getting paid the same. I'm still doing this again tomorrow and maybe a year after. Like, just because you're hating on me now is not going to affect me and my position. So it's either you deal with it or you could just deal with the hatred. But I feel like it will be positive in the longer run. I feel like there's going to be more opportunities for immigrants and for us to build up in a new area and be able to expand more and represent the Hispanic culture.
That was Kim's advice about how can Hispanics overcome these difficulties. But Leah, do we still believe in the American dream?
I don't know. Do we? What do y'all think? How do y'all think the American dream has impacted y'all lives? How did that American dream currently influence your life? And how can we really uphold these ideals and these standards that have been made, in the 80s or stuff like that?
I was adopted whenever I was 10 months old, so I would have had a much different life from what I would have. So moving to America, I've been able to actually get an education to where my biological mother was not able to. I'm able to go to college, I'm able to drive even a car and pay for myself. So I do feel like it has like a good amount of opportunities.
So for me personally, with all the different changes that have happened throughout, like, you know, our country and everything like that, I feel like I've been able to gain more opportunity and utilize that, especially with being in school. Like, there's been so many scholarships, things like that, that are helping me get to my next step in life.
It's brought to me the opportunity to go to college, the opportunity to have a good, successful career, and just the people I've met along the way as well.
A lot, definitely, like being able to work where I want to, going to school, learning, just getting to do what I want to do.
So I think that I've had equal opportunities to everyone, or more opportunities to everyone, just growing up in more of a safe neighborhood, kind of safe, and being able to have the privilege of having a mom and a dad and a sister, and food on the table, school. I didn't have to worry about anything until I was graduated from high school. So the opportunities that I had from that benefited me towards like mentors that I was given opportunities to meet, and through them telling me of what I can do with my life is the best way. I have more networking opportunities, I would put it, than maybe some people, or more or less, but that's how I would classify it.
And as you can all see, everyone has different opinions of how the American dream has either impacted them or has helped them shape their lives. But I also want to know what we think about the American dream. So Leah, do you want to go ahead and start? What do you believe about the American dream? What are your beliefs on it, your thoughts on it?
I feel like the American dream has definitely shaped my life. I mean, now that I can literally say that I'm a citizen, I feel like I have this sort of, I have met that American dream, but it's still and I'm going to college, I'm literally here, I'm doing this podcast and all of this stuff. I feel like I can say that I'm pursuing towards an American dream, but I think that the whole concept in general, that we have to hold ourselves into these standards, sort of constricting, and it sort of kind of harms immigrants, and it kind of harms that that productive aspect of chasing what we do, because if we don't meet this American dream, then este sueño americano, then we're not gonna have the success that we want for. But success is different, as Kim said. Success is different for every person.
Yeah, for me, the American dream, well, in my case, I don't consider myself an immigrant. I just come here to school, and I have taken advantage of the opportunities that this land has provided to me. I do believe that they call the land U.S. the land of opportunities because of something, and I'm pretty sure this is one of the answers. Throughout the whole podcast, we heard a lot of people talking about how coming to college has helped them. And I think that's definitely my perspective of it. If it wasn't because this country helped me come here to school and, have a really good education, I know I was probably in a different place. I was probably still in Colombia, and yes, I could have gotten education there, but the type of education I wanted to achieve in here, it was what I was looking for. So I'm really grateful with this country. So I do believe in the American dream. I mean, I believe that people can work hard and achieve the things they want to, I believe that it's not equal to everybody. Every single person starts on a different ladder. It depends on your social economics. It has a lot of things to do with your background. And sadly, I mean, that's how it is, and it's okay. But the point is that everyone can work hard to achieve the type of things they want. So, for example, in my case, I work hard to come here, and I have worked hard enough to stay here. So I'm really grateful with the opportunities that the United States has brought to me. If it wasn't for this, I mean, I wouldn't be able to graduate in here. Now I can say that I had a bilingual education because now I can speak English. So I'm very grateful for the opportunity, and I do believe in American dream, believe it or not. And even if I don't know where I'm gonna go, if I'm gonna stay here or not, then it's still a good thing that people have the opportunities, not only for Americans but also from foreigners that come here to make their dreams come true. So I think that American is definitely the land of opportunities.
Awesome. So that's all for today. Yeah.
So we were happy to bring Kim and Frankie and all the people that made up that made part of this podcast episode. We love to hear everyone's ideas and thoughts. And I'm definitely excited for our next episode.
So stay tuned and don't forget, this is Latino Living, un podcast para todos.